What's up, Earthlings? My name is Mackaira, and welcome to Mackaira's Realm. As you can see from the title, today I got some spiritual, unpopular opinions. If you hear dogs barking and trees moving, obviously your girl is grounded, okay? Let's just go ahead and get straight to it. The first one is saying having no dream job is so dumb. They be like, I don't dream of working. I just want to eat fruit all day, travel, live, breathe, meditate, yoga. I'm like, girl, okay, we get it. You don't want to have a 9 to 5. That's perfect. But what was the ancient Egyptians doing? They was working and they're still working in the afterlife. You're telling me you came to consciousness and decide to not be responsible for this mess that, please, we are the ancestors. We are here reincarnated to fix what the earth mess is. Even though it wasn't our fault, it is our fault if we continue to be accepted of the mess that's going on. It is our fault if we decide to come to consciousness and not spread consciousness. If we decide to just travel, eat fruit all day, live in peace, meditate and yoga. Like, what is your purpose here for real? I get the not wanting to work for corporate or not wanting to be a slave for anybody else, because yeah, we're not supposed to be slaves. If anything, we're supposed to be connecting with our divine self. But if you're connecting to your divine self is genuinely telling you not to work. And I get it for girls, because we are the nurturers, we are very intuitive, we are the creators. But what do you think creation is? Work. I think your perception of work is just messed up, because honestly, your perception of work is just honestly tainted by corporate America. Ancient Egyptians was working on pyramids. The goddesses ruled the land. So if you're coming here not responsible for this mess, or at least doing your part, then I feel like your presence is unpurposeful. The second one is the spiritual people that you see are not leaders. Okay, the leaders that I do know of, young Pharaoh. Please, that man used to step. The people that we see nowadays that post on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram, what are they leading? What are they changing? What communities are they actually forming? Like, please, he was putting together communities. He was constantly awakening people. He had his own website. Okay, yeah, they got their own website and all this stuff. They selling herbs and all this stuff, but like, okay, anybody could read about herbs. Can anybody bring together a community and create real change? There's not spiritual leaders. I'm not going to knock them for what they're doing now, because they're just vessels of knowledge, okay? It's very important to come into consciousness, which the spirit and the divine chooses specific individuals to deliver that knowledge because they're capable. Some people have hella knowledge, but they're just scared to come onto the camera or not confident enough to deliver the messages that they are being received. So therefore, there are specific people for that responsibility. So y'all need to know the difference between a vessel than a leader, because most of the people aren't leading. They're just vessels of knowledge. Next, this one ties into what I was just saying. Y'all need to have more discernment over who y'all looking up to as y'all role models, because it's looking to me that the third dimensional community is doing way more than spiritual community. Y'all know how I was just talking about how young Pharaoh was doing a lot of things, bringing the community together. Okay, Kyson Nat does plenty of things in the influencer world, in the streamer world. Where's the spiritual people? I feel like spiritual people should be in that position, okay? And everybody go through stuff, and we get it. Okay. Everybody is going through stuff, because at the end of the day, we're a collective, and so we collectively experience whatever the elites or the divine or whoever is trying to prey upon us. But at the end of the day, everybody's not doing nothing. Everybody's not on the level as third dimensional people. That don't make no type of sense. I mean, it could make sense in the spiritual realm. Like, hey, we're more suppressed nowadays. Hey, they're really trying to taint the media. Hey, they're really trying to express or push out a certain type of image of way black people should be. But no, those are just limiting beliefs. This technology is ancient in the first place. Therefore, they took this ancient knowledge and created it to be their own. Therefore, we're supposed to be over here manifesting thrones. Like, what are you talking about? There's more third dimensional in the influencer world than spiritual people. Yeah, so those are just limiting beliefs. Like, oh, they're probably controlling the media too much. No, you can manifest higher than that. Like, people be too scared of their own potential. But honestly, you're just not fully capable of grasping or fulfilling that purpose, because honestly, if you're too scared to step and be a leader and show out for the community, then you're not deserving of that place. I don't care. The next one I'm gonna get into is you can have an ego. We don't not have an ego for no reason. Okay, I get it. We're not supposed to have like this programming in the first place. I get that. I fully understand that. But we are the new ancestors. We are living in these times. We are in 2025, supposedly. It's not really 2025, but I'm just going to say that for the sake of our knowledge, like common sense, basically, even though it shouldn't really be common sense. But anyways, we're here in this time, which means we're supposed to use the resources that we have. That includes all the programs that we've endured. It takes some spiritual egos to get through this matrix, because these third dimensional people have hella ego. Okay, they have lust. Imagine having a higher perspective on ego. Imagine living from your higher ego. If there's a low and a high to everything, if there's low and high vibration everywhere, why don't you think it's a high and lower version of ego? Okay, you didn't come this far, delete all the trauma, collected all the esoteric knowledge, eating healthy, deciding to be a vessel of pure energy, deciding to raise consciousness for no reason. Girl, step on these people. There's people who are aware of the knowledge and still decide to do wrong and do bad by themselves. Those are the people who should honestly have the most karma, because they're aware of what they're doing and they're not taking action. You're the one that's doing the action. You're the one that's committed to the vision. You didn't fall under the perception or under the illusion of religion after spirituality got too hard for you. You deserve to have an ego. What are you talking about? Oh, you should be love, light. No, you should not be all love and light, because at the end of the day, there are two sides to a quarter. There's a moon and a sun. We are gifted with this presence, and our presence is essence, okay? Because at the end of the day, our egos, they're a part of our personalities. They carry energy, and our energy is potent. It's just a way to try to make us smaller than what we actually are. We should have the biggest egos in the world as spiritual people, please. Of course, it's healthy. Now, if you're just strictly operating from ego, then that's a problem. But you should have a healthy balance, is what I'm saying. All right, my next unpopular opinion is that you can't worship. No, you can't worship them ancient Egyptians. They existed. They're our ancestors. They're a part of us. Why are we worshiping something outside of us? If they're a part of us, then that means that's inner. That means we should be worshiping ourselves if we're worshiping somebody, but we shouldn't even be worshiping ourselves, because we'll be worshiping the vessel, which is not us in the first place. We're the soul. We shouldn't be attached to not one thing in life. Not one thing. We're not even attached to these bodies. When we die, we leave. Okay? Therefore, you're not supposed to worship. You're not supposed to worship God. You're not supposed to worship deities. You're supposed to work with them and along them and know your power as a human being, because I feel like I don't want to say put a hierarchy on divineness, but we're hella divine to even be human. What? They're higher. They're already pure. So we're still pure, operating through this matrix and illusion. That's divine ASF, okay? You can't worship anything outside of yourself. If you do, you became a slave to that thing, because that's what the program wants you to do anyway. Take away your power, give away your power to the thing that's outside of you, so you can look at yourself as if you're less than, and so that you can look at yourself as if you're powerless, which you're not. So yeah, next thing I want to get into, it kind of ties into the ego thing. You can judge. Okay, like y'all say, be peace, love, light, joy, happiness, higher vibrations. Yeah, but baby, there's a lower vibration too, and if I'm gonna tap into all of it, I'm gonna take advantage of all of it. I'm gonna judge your act to the fullest capacity, because why am I allowing you to exist like this when I know there's the pure state that we're supposed to be existing at? Why am I encouraging you to eat chicken, to eat fast food, when I know you're just partaking in cannibalism? Why am I encouraging you to be obese when I know we need to be at the most health? We need to be for this new age coming up? Why am I encouraging you to feed into your third dimensional, low vibrational ways when you're supposed to have a balance? The thing is, people don't have balance. And if we don't judge, we're just accepting that imbalance, which means we are creating more imbalance in our life because everything is a perception of us. So if we're accepting an imbalance in somebody else, that means we're accepting an imbalance in ourselves. And aren't we on this journey to evolve? That means you're just not with the change. That means you're just stagnant. Christians said they can't judge. We're not Christians. We're not religious. Yeah. The next spiritual unpopular opinion I want to get into is that third dimensional music can be high vibrational. Third dimensional music be having affirmations. It's different when you're listening to like low vibrational music where it's intended to get you in a low vibrational and lustful state. But if you're just listening to somebody talking about the way they live, their lifestyle, then that's high vibrational within itself because you're just speaking affirmations within yourself. Because some people that's third dimensional are just simply unconscious, but us as humans, we are very creative and our art is magic. Therefore, if somebody who doesn't have ill intention hop on a beat and create art and we decide to sing along with that, that just means we're affirming and raising our vibrations to that, no matter if that person is third dimensional or not. So if somebody's saying, yeah, I'm driving in my fast car, money's super long, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, my partner is pretty, that's dope. Like, what are you talking about? Wouldn't we want those things? Like, okay, yeah, those are surface level things, but that's not our lifestyle. That's just something we partake in, and that's art within itself. Because if you believe what we don't create isn't art, then I don't know what you're believing, because honestly, we're just expressions of what we've been programmed to be. Now, the next thing I want to get into is having kids. Okay. Y'all are so scared to have kids because y'all think, oh my God, all this pollution on the earth. Oh my God, this earth. Bro, that's just the higher ups plan to keep the population down because honestly, the pollution can be healed. Earth is powerful ASF, okay? Freaking oceans can transmute energy. There's hella water. If pollution was the issue, it would just flood the earth and create new land. If we're being honest, that's probably what already happened. That's probably why they got Atlantis. Let's be for real. If you're scared of, oh, I don't know the future of the government, you're letting fear take over your perception of how you should live life, which is what the program wants you to do. If you're scared of having kids because you're scared of what the future will look like, that's just because you're living in fear. That's because you're not putting out good intentions to have a good future for your children. That's because you're not setting up that good future for your children. That's because you're not expanding your mindset so that you don't attract that in your generation. That's because you're not tapping into your true DNA or being healthy or tapping into the true oneness of nature. There's nature. The nature is ancient. Having kids is ancient. Having kids is powerful. Having kids is important. We're supposed to populate the earth. We're supposed to keep the earth going. The earth isn't just going to disappear. The earth is too big. And if you believe that, that's just because you've been programmed to believe that and you're too stuck into the matrix. Boom. Next, you can't change your family. That's false. You can't change your family. If you believe you're supposed to be a spiritual vessel changing the world, why you think you can't change your family? Hello? That's our bloodline. You think you could change 50 million strangers, but you can't change one person in your family? Yeah, they don't listen. That's because you're not looking at it from their perspective. You come to a higher perspective and won't stoop down to their perspective whenever you try to teach them higher. They're just at a different stage in life and you just don't believe in their capability to go higher because you believe that you're better and you should be here instead of being where you are. Where they are is important for their journey, and if you understand that, then you know that they can exchange, that they can come to a higher perspective. But if you believe that they can't, you're just a part of the matrix and you're just become a product of the program because that's what they want you to believe so that you can become separate from your bloodline. And I know that we're born into families and we're supposed to like choose our families and we might separate from our families and all of that, but honestly, if you're spiritual, you know whatever you believe is true. That means if you believe that you can change your family, that will become your true in your life if you imprint your subconscious mind. My last point I'm going to mention is that you can't date or befriend third dimensional people. This is kind of contradicting to the rest because it's like you can't change people, but yeah, no. If you're on a higher level, you're supposed to be attracting that higher level. And until you attract that higher level, you better stand in your lonesome, because if you don't, that means you're just scared of pursuing your own journey and you have to have the desire to have somebody else around you. No. You're not supposed to date people that's third dimensional. All they will do is bring you down unless you're trying to bring them up. And if you're trying to bring them up, it's like a dragging, because you're supposed to constantly evolve. You're not supposed to look back and drag people with you, because all you're doing is slowing your process. And nothing's bad about slowing your process. Take your time. Don't rush ever. But don't purposely delay yourself. That don't make no type of sense. It's okay to be associates. Talk to them. Inspire them. Motivate them. Everything. But to pour your energy and to form a connection and a trauma bond is not purposeful, and it's not beneficial. That's just what I believe. Everything in this video is just what I believe. And if you don't believe that, it's okay. And I'm proud of you, because you got your own mind too. And if you don't believe something, like, I'm cool. We could come to like a common understanding. That's cool too. If you watch this video from this point, I'm so grateful for you. I hope you gain a higher perspective, and I hope my perspective like inspire you to gain higher perspectives on different things and to look at things deeper and deeper and deeper, because that's all I want to do. And I hope you have a great day. Say your affirmations and live life to the fullest, because we're here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? Have a good day and peace.